Hello.
Hi.
And welcome back once again to Wheel Takes, a podcast about the Wheel of Time that's probably going to have a bunch of dog noises in the background of it. My name is Gus, and might have cat noises too.
They're really bummed about it.
I have read all of the Wheel of Time.
And I am Allie, and I am the owner of all the animals.
Well, technically,
I'm the
I
fault.
guess.
I'm the reason for all of it.
You're the origin point of why we have all the animals.
Yeah, Gus is the loving father of all of the animals, but they were not his idea. And so
But I'm glad they're here.
But he's glad they're here.
Yeah, it's one of those sorts of things.
It's one of those sorts of things.
And you have read
And I've read 11 books.
Knife of Dreams, Chapter 19.
I've read 11 books ever.
Your whole life.
Yeah, The Wheel of Time is
The only thing you've ever read.
Series of books I've ever read.
I dubbed you in with AI for the Hunger Games episodes.
It's
That's
true.
a joke. I would know.
They weren't sure if that was a joke.
I know.
Thank God you clarified.
What if this is somebody's first episode? You know, every time this is why we do the keyboard thing too. Is I'm like, what if this is somebody's first episode and we make some tongue-in-cheek reference to something we said 400 podcast hours ago, and somebody understandably goes, "Well, I don't know about that." That's I don't know. The dog has decided that this is the correct time to lick his entire body 4 feet away from the microphone. So that's where we're at today.
Yeah, it's not me or Gus doing that.
Everything is dandy. We have a few patrons to thank. As a reminder, we're doing 5 a week until we're caught up because you people are really much too generous and kind to us.
We love you so much.
We do. As a reminder as well, if you are just here for us to talk about books and make dick jokes, I can't promise there won't be any dirty jokes during the patron thank yous. Probably, I don't know. But you can skip ahead to the timestamp in the description. And if you're listening not on Patreon, add like a minute for the pre-roll ads to that timestamp. So, hey, Musta, thanks for the high five.
Musta, just like a scrumptious thumbtack. Don't eat thumbtacks.
Don't eat thumbtacks.
You are keeping us together. You are a unifying force. Someone who incites fun gatherings and lasting bonds. You have a lot of tact.
Oh my God.
You always are making sure that you're saying what needs to be said, but in a way that is thoughtful and nice to others. And you are also, you have your thumb on the pulse of what's happening. You've always got a good day trip idea or nice activity planned. And for that, we thank you. Thanks for being a part of this community.
Thanks for the cup of coffee, Peyton D.
Peyton D. Just like a delightful lion. Yeah. Musa was like, I got thumbtack and they get lion. Yes, that's how this works. You are fierce. Lions are incredible hunters. They're good at stuff. You take great pride in your work. Get it?
Hey.
And you are the main character. And for that, we thank you. And thanks for being a part of this community.
Thanks for jumping up to a pint, Eric S.
Eric S. Just like a terrific ticket stub. You are a reminder of good times all the time. You are a promise of fun times to come as well. And you are always getting the stamp of approval. And for that, we thank you. And thanks for being a part of this community.
Thanks for jumping up to a pint, Aaron.
Aaron, just like a animated mattress. An animated mattress.
All right.
Sure. You are comfy. You're just someone who's just comfortable to be around. You fit into any situation with ease. You are not afraid to flip your opinions when need be, when it's necessary to change your mind. And you you've always got a good feather in your cap. And for that, we thank you. Thanks for being a part of this community.
And last but not least for today, thanks for the pint, JP.
JP, J, just J with the last name P, because
Yes.
JP can be a name.
It can.
So
JP.
Space P.
I think. Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
J, just like a generous helicopter. You are not afraid to fly. You will fly up in the sky all the time. Like you make us soar with joy. You always cop to your faults. You know, you're not afraid to admit when you're wrong. And you are hella awesome. And for that, we thank you and thanks for being a part of this community.
You're all so nice, and we really appreciate you. And you don't have to do that.
Don't tell them that.
But it's really kind, and it's very sweet of you, and we're very grateful, and we don't deserve you.
And come say hi to us at JordanCon next month.
Yes, please do.
Especially if you're, not just if you're a patron, but especially if you're a patron. We want to come give you a hug and a high five.
Well, and tell us what we compared you to, because unfortunately,
we love hearing about
that. We do forget sometimes. I remember a couple years ago, a patron came up and said, I think she was a DVD player or a VHS. And unfortunately, it was like day 3 of JordanCon. And
so we're tired at that point.
We were bleary-eyed and confused, and I feel quite bad about that because I was like, oh, hi! And I didn't put the pieces together for a second.
Which she came up to you and said, I'm a DVD player?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't have the... And that was entirely my fault. And then she said, I'm a patron. And I went, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
You just thought she was calling herself a DVD player?
Well, I don't know.
No. I would have, knowing day 3 of JordanCon, how like delirious we are at that point, because it's so much fun.
And that's entirely on me. That was 100% on me.
Once you've done a bunch of panels,
if you're listening,
and
it was
stuff,
really pleasant to meet you.
Oh, it was
I'm sorry
lovely.
that our response was like that. This was 2
No, I'm
years
not.
ago.
That's so on brand for Wheel
true.
Takes. No, that's
true.
so on brand. God forbid you are the idiot sometimes, as opposed to me.
I'm the idiot most of the time.
No. We all know I'm the idiot of this relationship.
So what I have to say is, where did we leave the cats?
They're in the house.
Yes, but where did we leave off?
We left off on Beetle Math.
No, that was quite... You keep saying Beetle Math. You consistently
because nothing has
Beetle
happened
Math.
Since Beetle Math.
We had like 7 Elaine chapters.
Like I said, nothing has happened since Beetle
Kevin
Math.
Angus on Twitter is in shambles since you called it nothing having happened. She had mood swings. She talked to mercenaries. Avienda left.
The last thing that happened was Beetle Math. That is what I will say.
We left off with Aramilla and Nason being the worst and some other shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like
that was ominous.
And Allie, then we got to these chaps.
That was an ominous ostrich if I've ever seen one.
How are these chaps?
How are these chaps? These chaps slapped me in the face.
These chaps popped the fuck off, didn't they?
I was so pleased. They slapped me in the face and I said, thank you.
Yes.
Like... It's good that I have never said anything bad about Robert Jordan in my life. Because if I had, I'd look real silly right now.
Listen.
Because this is what I've been waiting for, Robert. This is Robert at his best.
The roller coaster.
We had adorable marriages and nose nuzzling, 10 out of 10.
Yes, I love Loial and Harris
Allie
wedding.
was right about things.
Allie's
we
consistently
love
right about
being
things.
right about things. And we got... Oh, what else we got? We got Trollic Battle. Draw Battle.
We got
Battle.
Dope ass battle cries from Elder Heyman and Loial.
What did they say?
Up axes and clear the fields.
Cool.
Up axes and clear the fields.
Up axes and clear the fields.
Let me see the particular line that I remember.
What would your battle cry be?
Get fucking killed? I don't know.
You know what mine would be?
What?
It's murder on the dance floor.
Oh, that's good. What did you... Here, let me see.
It's murder on the dance floor.
Here's this. I'm skipping ahead.
Yeah, that's morning voice right there.
He was already starting for the door. Only Aes Sedai and Asha'man could save them now. Here, my boy, I think we may need these. He turned just in time to catch the long-handled axe that Elder Heyman tossed him. I just think it's fucking cool.
So cool.
Anyway, Allie, but we're not there yet. We got to do chapter 18 first. Chapter 18 is called News for the Dragon.
Loial got married.
Loial got married. News for the Dragon, also kind of a banger.
Because Loial got married.
Loial was going to go get married.
Oh, what else happens?
In chapter 18?
Yeah.
Rand has some meetings.
Well, don't you want...
Logain is there. Rand is a huge dick to Logain.
I didn't like that.
He's
Even
like,
though
hey,
Logain
man.
deserves having someone be a dick to him, it's
man.
not Rand.
Don't be mean to my boy Mazrim Taim. He's doing his best, and everybody is like, where did this energy come from? Sir?
It's the dumbest energy.
Now, we're going to pick it up with chapter 18.
Wait, don't you want my note?
Yes, I was going to say News for the Dragon. Allie, do you have notes for chapter 18?
No.
News for the Dragon.
I'm just kidding.
I think
do.
you might.
Rand in that damn list again.
Yes.
But Moraine is rightfully at the feckin' top.
She is.
Rand, you sent Matt and Perrin away from you, and now you're mad they're gone?
He's mad that they appear to be fucking around. He doesn't understand what they're doing.
God forbid they're not actively in battle right now. They're doing things. Perrin is making...
Peace.
Which is it's exactly what you're doing.
The Sean Chan.
And apparently Matt is too. So you all have the same goal. You're all doing the same thing.
Peace with the Sean Chan.
Now, does it make me want to scream? Yes.
Yes. Well, Cadsuane did say your peace with the Sean Chan will not be popular.
It's with Allie specifically.
And what did Rand say in response? Do you remember?
No.
After I'm dead, you can fuck him up. I don't give a shit. And then Min is like, stop saying that. If you're making jokes about it, you're actually thinking about it. And he's like, oh, I'm not making jokes. I'm just genuinely 100% serious. And she's like, that's not better.
Yes.
That's
true.
worse.
Okay, it says Morrison, but what I mean is Moradin.
I like Morrison.
Autocorrect happened. Morrison getting the Voldemort treatment.
Hashtag
Allie
fuck
was
JK.
right.
Hashtag
Allie was right. Hashtag Allie was right. They crossed the streams.
They did.
They crossed the streams.
It appears as though that is the... Of course, Rand doesn't know who this guy is, but we know that it's...
Yeah, it says, when our streams of Valerie... Okay, that's
a
not
hell
right.
of an autocorrect.
That's not right. When our streams of Valerie touched and shatter Logoth, it must have created some sort of link between us. And I wrote in all caps, fuck yes, I fucking knew it.
You did.
This is why you should visit the Black Tower, Rand.
Yes, ever. More than once with a banger speech that made everybody confused.
I'm angry. One time he showed up and gave a speech that was kind of ho-hum, and he was like, I'm never going back there.
Good work. I got you guys enameled pins.
I like to think that he was embarrassed because the speech didn't land like he hoped.
And now he just can't.
And now he
doesn't wanna
can't
go
bring
back.
himself to go back.
I'm familiar with that experience.
And that's actually really relatable.
That's very true. Very real.
Okay, Cadsuane, don't be mean to my girl, but also possibly not my girl, Therin.
Your potential Therin.
My potential material girl.
Maybe. Chapter 18, News for the Dragon. Dragon in a Box logo. Rand opens with the most heinous thing I've ever heard.
Is it, as Gus likes to say, heinously anus?
Heinously. I got that from the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I stole that from AVGN.
Oh, Gus. I thought that was a Gus creation.
No, it is not. It is stolen from James Rolfe.
I'm going to ignore that completely because I think it's so funny.
He says
Anus.
the worst thing. You know what he says? Enough, Loial. Banned.
Go fuck yourself.
Blocked.
Right now.
Delisted.
With a chainsaw.
Demonetized.
With a iron spike.
You'll talk me hoarse with all these questions. And Loial is like...
How dare you?
Now, I kind of think that this is Robert Jordan roasting himself a little bit, if I'm being completely honest, the way this reads. Because Loial goes, but you've told me almost nothing really useful. You never mention heroics except by anybody else. You make it all sound so everyday. To hear you tell it, the fall of Ilion was as exciting as watching a weaver repair her loom. And cleansing the true source, you and Nynaeve linked, then you sat and channeled while everybody else was off fighting Forsaken. I think a little bit of that is Robert Jordan being like, I get it, you guys didn't like Book 7.
No, we did not.
I don't know, I think it's funny. I think it's cute.
It is.
And I know
cute.
that's not really what he's doing. I know. But
might be.
I just think there might be a little bit of him going, I get it. You guys want me to pick it up.
We do. Correct. Roast yourself more, please. I've never said a bad word about Robert Jordan in my life.
Remember the tiny Robert?
All is forgiven.
It is all. And they're talking. Give me the rundown. What's going on here? What are they? Who's all there? What are they talking about? What are they doing?
Ch18 is there, and Min is there, and Therin is there, and Rand is there, and Loial is there, and some Aes Sedai are there.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of chilling.
They're just kind of gabbing. They're hanging out. Rand hasn't really done anything since the cleansing, but also like the cleansing was enough.
And then Logain, Dane Cook kicks his ass into the room.
He just busts in. Yeah.
And it's like, Mazrim is a problem.
They spend several pages chatting about like Min wants Rand to
what doesn't Min want Rand
she
to?
She wants Rand. That's what she wants. They kind of gab, and she's reading a book and being, wearing a titty shirt. A thing I haven't said in like 6 books. Remember titty shirt back when I would say titty shirt?
Where
all the
were
time?
they, Robert?
I don't know. Titty shirt's a fun phrase. And Rand is like doing the Lews Therin earlobe thing every time he looks at Min, and there's all this shit.
I think I can make that attractive. Hold on, let me see.
Oh yeah, it works. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
I think we get it now.
Famously visual medium podcasts.
I just wanted to fluster my husband.
She's very good at it. She's very good at it.
On not camera, microphone.
Therin and Cadsuane are hanging out too, and Lews Therin keeps on screaming, and Rand sees Moradin. He's like, "Wait a minute! I think that's that dude who when we the dick thing, our dicks crossed for a second. Our magic. I'm sorry, this isn't
our
funny.
Dick
this is
streams.
Not an original joke. I can do better. So they
no. I was going to say our pee streams crossed. So really, that's not different.
Sure. Well, it's funnier when you say it. They had their streams crossed for a second, and
their dicks crossed.
Yeah.
Did you say their dicks crossed?
I did. And then
their dicks crossed.
Yes. So
what crossed?
I'm turning beet red now. Redder than the tips
was supporting your joke
of Loial's ears when Aerith shows up, which she will in a couple minutes. And then Lews Therin is like, God damn it. I wonder if that fucking guy knows where I'm at. I don't know what's going on here either. And Rand is like, why are you awake? Why is he awake? What's his deal?
Who is awake?
Lewsy.
Oh, I don't know. This guy bothers me. He offers very little in terms of help and offers very much in terms of chaos.
He offered Deathgates and he offered Blossoms of Fire. And then he offered, I'm going to blow up this building and myself. But we managed to talk him down. We talked him off of that ledge.
Thank gosh.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
But, I mean, all he does is cry about his dead wife. And I don't want to sound insensitive. Because obviously, that is a really hard
Very
thing.
real thing, yes.
If this were me and I were in his place, that's all I would do too.
Yes.
But in a narrative, we're wanting his presence to be at all helpful. It's not helpful.
And Loial is like, Rand, you look stressed. Did you eat a spot of cheese? Did you have is there more of gravy than of grave about you?
Yeah, what is that? Wait. What is that from?
It's from A Christmas Carol. A little thing can make why do you doubt your senses?
Why did I forget that?
Because a little thing can make them cheat. You might be a piece of undigested beef, a blob of mustard.
This is the second time we've made that reference.
Yeah, it's great. It's fucking funny as shit. And then he says,
it's the second time I haven't gotten where that reference is from.
There's more of grave about you.
Despite the fact that I have played Scrooge.
You did once, and all of the men over 40 in that cast were furious because you were a 22-year-old woman playing Scrooge.
It was fun.
You did great. So he's like, you good? And then Nynaeve was like, let me give you a full diagnostic workup. You're fine, but your wound is still fucked. Anyway, old dude busts
Someone's
in.
got to do something about that thing.
My main man, Ethan busts in.
Who?
Ethan.
Who is Ethan?
He's Lord. What? Whose manor house is this? I forget. He's some dude who went to be an Ashaman. That's where this guy is, by the way. This guy went to be an Ashaman, and Rand is chilling at his house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, hey man, Lord Logain is here, and then Logain just like kicks the door down and is like, hey motherfucker, how you doing? It's been a minute. What's happening? What's new? Let me give you the rundown on Andor. I'm going to catch you up on everything that's happened in the past 7 chapters. And then Rand is like, hello, hi, why are you calling yourself Lord Logain? Why is he calling himself Lord Logain?
Because he used to be a lord.
Technically, yes. He was at one point a minor lord.
And then they took his title away and his land when he declared himself the false dragon.
Understandable.
But Logain's like, they can't stop me from being me.
Yeah. He gives him the rundown on the Black Tower.
Dab on my haters.
As well. They sent a bunch of Ashaman, obviously, to, I think there's some with Rand.
Now, I feel like, Logain, Rand might trust you more if you didn't do that, though. If you weren't like, I'm Lord Logain. Yeah. Dab on these haters.
Could be worse. He could be calling himself the Mahale.
See, and this is where Rand and I are at
or Sorvaron Mahale and whatever, all the other Mahales, which, just as a reminder, are Nazi titles.
Fuck. I forgot about that.
Storm Leader, Battle Leader.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert was like, I'm going to not be subtle about this, actually.
No.
At all.
And they're black-coated, jackbooted. I mean, come on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh. I mean, I will take the styling yourself Lord over that, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely. There's no supposition here. It's a definite. Okay. Ooh, I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable lingering on Nazis. Can we move on?
I didn't say anything. I just said it once, and then you went whoo for like 5 minutes, which I understand. We can segue out. Let's segue out. So Logain is there.
There's no good segue away from Nazis.
I know. So Logain is there. Verin is knitting, and Logain is like, hey, man, we sent like half the Ashaman to Erod Daman. Taim was pissed, and Rand is like, well, maybe you should be nicer to him. Have you thought about that? Maybe you should be fucking nicer to him. He's doing his best, you jackass.
How do you know he's doing his best? You never go.
Now, I'm being a little bit hyperbolic about this. By the way, we also learned where the Aiel went.
Also, Rand, you've wanted to kill him since the minute you laid eyes on him. This is giving you the excuse you've needed from the beginning.
And we'll find out where the Aiel went right after these advertisements. Allie, where did the Aiel went?
These boys are stupid, and I hate them.
Where did the Aiel went?
I love them. I've never said a bad word against them. How dare you suggest that I did that?
Where did the Aiel went?
Home.
No.
No?
Erod Daman.
Why would they do that?
Because Rand is trying to bring peace to the Erod Daman. He sent a bunch of Ashaman and apparently the Aiel to go and make peace in the Erod Daman.
Okay, but that's just going to scare the shit out of them.
And find Al Salam.
He sent the Aiel and the Ashaman to do that?
Yes,
that's going to scare the shit out of them.
Famously, the chillest 2 organizations that
Why
he works
would he
with.
do those 2 when the Saldaeans are right there?
I don't know.
They're going to shit their pants.
Well, currently...
They're going to shit their pants like Todd.
Currently, it's mostly just like strong-arm bands roaming around enforcing order.
They're going to shit their pants.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, yeah. Taim has at least, what is it?
Those are the people that scare everyone in these books the most. I'm going to send demons and more demons to make peace. That's going to cause mass chaos.
So of Taim's various men, he has 41 in his like special inner circle and 50 people in special classes.
This is bad.
And
he's also insisted on doing all of the recruiting.
He wants to anyway. And Rand is, and Logain is like, this is kind of fucked up, dude. And like, I'm kind of concerned about this. And Rand goes, Give over. Tyene built the Black Tower till it nearly matches the White Tower for numbers, and it grows every day. If he's a dark friend the way you claim, why would he do that? And Logain looks at him and goes...
So that he could create a group inside of that group that was loyal to him so that he could dismantle this group from the inside out, you dumb dunce fuck.
Because he couldn't stop it, from what I've heard. Even in the beginning, there were men who could travel who weren't his toad eaters. I'm apparently can't not do a very tiny bit of Elvira Morte. I'm trying not to. And he had no excuse to do all recruiting himself. But he's made a tower of his own hidden inside the Black Tower, and the men in it are loyal to him, not you. He amended the deserters list and sent his apologies for an honest mistake. But you can wager all you own it was no mistake. And Rand is like, well, maybe
what
you're...
was the deserters list?
Remember when he put all of Rand's buddy Ashaman on the kill on sight list? And then Rand was like, hey, don't.
That's suspicious as fuck, yeah. Rand.
And Rand is like, well, maybe not. But
no,
I don't know, Logain. No, maybe you're the son of a bitch. What if it's you?
Rand.
It could be you.
Rand. Oh my God, Rand goes so smoothly into Rand.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's a red flag. Where's that red flag guy from TikTok?
He's on TikTok.
You know that guy?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Where he like has that big red flag, and every time there's like a man who does something red flaggy on TikTok, he doesn't just wave it.
He runs at the camera.
He runs around with it streaming behind him. That's how I feel.
And Rand goes, listen, maybe it's a problem, maybe it's not. Maybe you should shove a fucking corn cob up your ass, and I will deal with this when I deal with this. And Logain is like, this is a problem. Do you think that this is just me being jealous? Because, like, this is actually a problem. And Rand is like, maybe I'm going to make a problem. And then Cadsuane is like, boys, put them away. Let's stop.
Put them away.
Put them away.
They're both big. We love you.
We know. We get it.
I told you I expected you and your friends in black coats to be civil to me, my friends, and my guests, but I've decided that must be expanded to include each other, at least when I am present. That means if you continue squabbling, I may have to spank both of you.
And then all the women laugh.
Yeah.
And the spanking again.
Yeah, I know. And then Verin, who is apparently knitting... like a blob, just goes,
Tyene very likely will have to wait on the last battle, whatever he's about. It will come soon. According to everything I've read on the subject, the signs are quite clear. Half the servants have recognized dead people in the halls, people they knew alive. It's happened often enough that they aren't frightened by it any longer, and a dozen men moving the cattle to spring pasture watched a considerable town melt into mist just a few miles to the north.
And Cadsuane is like...
Oh, so is that where Matt is?
Different town.
A different town?
And Cadsuane is like, thanks, Verin, you didn't tell us that yesterday. Again. And Verin is like, damn, sorry, I just thought it was cool. This is my current hyperfixation. I'm going to keep talking about it for quite a while because I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, please don't be... That is actually really triggering as an ADHD person.
I know. He's like, Cads, give me the deets. What do you think of my plan to make peace with the Seanchan?
I think it's ass.
It sucks. And he goes, well, I don't care.
Then why did you ask?
But, like, what does he actually say?
He says, well, you can do what you want with them when I'm dead.
Yeah. And then he says, I didn't tell you guys what the snakes told me.
Finally. What did they tell him? I forgot.
One of my questions for the Aelfin was, how can I win the last battle?
A dangerous question to pose, touching on the shadow as it does. Supposedly, the results can be quite unpleasant. What was the answer?
The north and the east must be as one. The west and the south must be as one. The two must be as one. He had asked how to win and survive. The last part of his answer had been, to live, you must die. Not something he was going to bring up in front of Min anytime soon. In front of anyone except Olivia, for that matter. At first I thought it meant I had to conquer everywhere, but that wasn't what they said. What if it means the Seanchan hold the west and south, as you could say they already do, and there's an alliance to fight the last battle? The Seanchan with everybody else. Allie has collapsed into my lap. She has gone semi-prone. She has gone completely limp. And she has apparently given up on everything. But that is just where we are at today. Allie, you awake? Allie is not well. She is very upset about this. She is screaming into my right thigh. She's just yelling into my thigh. So how do you feel about this?
I think I vocalized pretty clearly how I feel about this. Fuck the Sean-chan.
And Rand
No,
is,
Matt, don't actually fuck the Sean-chan. That's not what I said.
Rand is like, well, you know, you gotta team up with the bad guy to fight the worst guy sometimes.
No.
But maybe you guys can start punching each other in the balls after we're done.
No.
And I'm dead. And Min is like, eh.
So wait.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So we're saying, you're like, and we're going to fight the last battle. Except I'm going to punt future battles down the road.
Yes.
I'm going to beat you upside the head.
And then Cad Swain is like, maybe you need to chill a little bit. You're a little too intense. And he's like, I'll be intense. I don't know what that means.
I'll be intense in your pants. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what he's saying.
And then Ethan busts in again, and he goes,
My Lord Dragon, Three Ogier, have arrived. They're most pleased to learn that Master Loial's here. One of them's his mother.
And Loial is like, I gotta fucking leave. I gotta go. By the way, do you remember last time we saw them?
Who? Loial?
No, his mom.
Yeah, it was like forever
In
ago.
like book 6.
Rand dropped them off at the Two
He
Rivers.
gatewayed them to the Two Rivers, and then they told them, oh, he's not here anymore, and they have walked across the continent for the past 5 books.
I'd be a little bit pissed.
I love this for them. I don't. It sucks, but it's hilarious. What are they here for?
Loial's gotta marry Ed.
Loial's gotta get married.
And then they gotta go to the Great Stump.
Yes, the Great Stump.
There's something about the Great Stump that fucking kills me.
It's
They
a funny
worship
name,
a
yeah.
Stump?
No. Stump is a word for a meeting. This is Entmoot. They're going to Entmoot.
Wait, what?
Yes. No, the Great Stump is not a literal stump.
You
thought it was a literal stump?
I thought it was a literal
It is not a literal stump. Stump is in meeting. They're going to
I
Entmoot.
thought they were all gonna gather around like a fucking big ass stump
No.
and go like,
Well,
nice
maybe, but
stump,
no.
good stump, blessed stump,
She is, yes.
tenderly stroking the stump.
Yeah.
The nicest stump. Look at the great stump, a beautiful stump. The stumpiest stump.
No, the Great Stump is the name for like the broad meeting of all the Ogier.
In my head, it's still a stump.
It might be at a big stump.
It better be at a big stump.
It doesn't really feel very Ogier to have cut down the tree.
Well, but trees can be stumps for big other reasons other than being
True,
cut down.
yeah, if it fell.
It could fall.
Because then, actually that would work too, because then it would be a mother log.
Or it could rot
Yes.
and then fall.
Yes.
It could die and then fall.
So meanwhile...
It could be eaten by bugs and then fall.
Nynaeve is like, God damn, my head hurts. There's a big-ass storm coming, and that's the end of chapter 18.
The great stump.
Chapter 19, Allie, is not called...
Maybe it was a tree, and then some guy was like, that'd make a great throne. I'm going to cut it down.
It could be. Chapter 19 is...
The wheel turns again.
Chapter 19 is not called The Great Stump. It is also not called Moiraine Rescue Chap, but it is called Vows. This is the logo. What is it?
It's a wheel.
It's a wheel.
That turns again.
Do you have notes for chapter 19,
Not
Vows?
many, I'll be honest, because I was vibing too hard.
I understand. It was a great
Have you
chapter.
ever vibed so hard that you
I forgot
could
to
not
take notes?
take notes? Yeah.
For most of the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
almost all of Mockingjay.
Yeah, exactly. I'm ready to tend a husband is ruining my vibe.
Sure.
Finger her ear.
Terrible wording, Robert. Terrible. Absolutely awful wording.
Like, couldn't have been worse.
Send this one back. Put this one
Harriet.
back in the oven.
Harriet,
it's not
this
done.
was also on you.
Harriet, come on. Finger her ear?
Oh, sorry. I know, sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I hate it. And then I just wrote, oh, fuck.
Yes.
And then I wrote, I love Aerith.
Correct. Chapter 19 vows, Loial chap. The rare Loial chap. How's he doing?
He thinks he's not doing well.
Right.
Because he's like, oh no, they're about to marry my ass off. Mm-hmm. And every man in the books has decided that's the worst thing that can happen to you during the apocalypse.
Yeah, well, it's
Am I
sure
wrong?
that they have
At
apparently
least two of them have been
that,
like, that is the worst thing that could possibly happen to me. And I'm like, my brother in Christ, the apocalypse is happening actively right now. Are we sure that's the worst thing that could happen to you? And so he's like, oh shit, they're gonna marry me off, and then I'm gonna have to settle down. But he actually wants to be married to her because, you know, like, listen. I wish Loial had had a little bit more consent in how this went down. I do.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
However, at the same time, let's think about this. How many times have we seen this scene happen where the woman basically gets talked over and has to be forced to marry a man? So turnabout is fair play, Loial. You had to take one for the team.
I remember when we discussed, like, which character in the Wheel of Time, if any, is completely unproblematic. Loial is always the closest we get. And I think we always say that the one thing he has done that is problematic is go like, I sure do like that my future wife doesn't talk very much and just listens to me talk instead. But again, that is such a tiny thing in the grand scheme of everything else everybody else has done in these books.
In the grand scheme, in any other book, he'd be so toxic.
So, chapter 19 vows...
There'd be essays about that, but instead we've got essays about other shit.
Uneasy.
We got other things going on.
Loial watched Nynaeve glide off down the lamplit corridor in one direction and Verin in the other. Neither was much taller than his waist, but they were Aes Sedai.
His waist?
He's huge, and Nynaeve is a shromp. Nynaeve is itty-bitty. Nynaeve's like 5'1".
And he's how tall?
He's like, I don't know, I guess 8 feet tall? I don't remember.
Who's 8? Oh, Loial.
Loial, yeah.
Right. I thought it was still Rand for a second, and I was like, that makes no sense. Oh, waist. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Nynaeve is... where? God, I can't... my God. Why is this hard to find? Oh, I'm sorry. Nynaeve's 5'5". Moiraine is like 5'1". Nynaeve's not short. What am I talking about?
I always thought Nynaeve was short.
She's shorter than... Well, the men are all fucking giants.
That's true.
Remember. Nynaeve comes up to Matt's shoulder. Matt's 5'11". Rand's 6'5" to 6'6". Perrin is a little... Perrin's got like an inch on me. Ogier go up to 8'6". So I feel like waist is kind of overstating it. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? Anyway.
I care. I care.
Loial's stressed about many things, including Rand. He's going to go talk to his mom. I love this like 3-page section of Loial POV. I think it's really, really well written.
I love it.
I think it's really... There's not a ton to talk about in it, because it's mostly just like really good character writing of Loial being concerned about... Yes?
If this is as I think it is, which is Loial's writing these books...
That
right?
would be pretty cute,
it's
right?
so cute, because he's like, now I have to insert a chapter of me.
He goes up to... He doesn't really want to go... Standing there in the corridor was only putting off the inevitable.
Well, this would be a hell of a thing to read from your husband's perspective. And you're like, you didn't want to marry me?
Put off clearing the brush, and you always find chokevine in it, so the old saying went. Only he felt as though the chokevine was tied around him instead of a tree. Breathing hard, he followed the serving woman all the way to the wide stairs that led up to the Ogier rooms. Why have you now collapsed the other? Were you just stretching? Oh, I thought Allie had, like, passed into a coma or something. She just started... Okay. Welcome back.
I've just been sitting in a chair for a long time.
I see. Well, we're surprisingly...
And the ADHD is starting to...
Clipping along.
Be in HD.
I understand. He goes to the thing, and he goes into the room, and his mom is there, and he's like, hey, Mom, how's it going? And Aerith is there, and he's like, she's really cute. I think she's great, and I like her little ears, and she's got little tufts and stuff, and I think she's cute, and I like her a bunch, and I like her ears.
Okay, so you ask him how he feels about her.
No, this is his POV.
Oh, never mind that.
So here you are,
his mother said, planting her fists on her hips.
I must
really
say,
good.
you've led me a merry chase, but I have you in hand now, and I do not mean to let you... What is that on your lip? And your chin? Well, you can shave those right off again. Don't you grimace at me, son Loial.
But Mom, I want a beard.
A merry chase indeed.
You know what
Elder
my favorite
Heyman
thing
said
is?
dryly. What?
Is that, so Gus has a beard.
I do.
And a mustache.
I do.
A beard mustache. A
I
beard
do.
mustache, if you will.
You might even say I have facial hair.
I'm very fond of them.
Yes.
And one time, your mom came to me.
Yes.
And I love your mom. Well,
Yes.
Gus's mom and I are best friends.
Yes.
And she came to me and because we often agree on pretty much everything. But she came to me, she's like, you know, that beard and mustache, you know, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite thing. Because Gus doesn't look like her baby boy anymore. And I get that's why she doesn't like it. Because he goes, no, he just looks like too much of a grown man. She hates it. And so she comes to me and she's like, you know, the beard and mustache, you know, it's, you know, like you're trying to look for an ally in this, like, 'cause she's hoping like maybe the two of us can ally and then the beard and mustache will be gone.
Eventually will disappear.
And I was just like, Doc, as we've called her on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
We could not disagree on this more if we tried.
Well, when I'm clean shaven, Allie and I look almost exactly the same.
It's so horrible. It's so horrible.
When her hair is blonde, we look almost exactly the
He's
same.
not allowed to shave.
And that's all well and good.
It's so horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not allowed.
So Heyman goes,
A very merry chase. First we walked to Kyrian, having heard you were there, only you had gone. After a stop at Stedding Tsofu, we walked to Camelin, where young Althor informed us you were in the Two Rivers and took us there. But you were gone again. To Camelin, it seemed. I began to think we were playing Ring in the Dell.
and Aerith goes,
The people in Emmons Field told us how heroic you were.
Oh.
They told us all about you fighting Trollocs and Myrddraal and going out among them by yourself to seal the Manetherin Waygate so no more could come.
I'm so
I wasn't
impressed
by
at
myself.
how you're able to do all these different voices within this voice.
I just open up my soft palette really big.
Oh yeah, I know it's all technique stuff, but it's like very impressive.
Gaul was with me. We did it together. I'd never have reached the Waygate without Gaul.
I'm fangirling over you as hard as Aerith is fangirling over
shucks.
Loial right now.
And I just love all this dialogue. I don't mean to read all of it, but it's cute.
No, it's cute. Read the whole thing.
His mom goes,
Foolishness. Fighting in battles. Putting yourself in danger. Gambling. All of it. Pure foolishness. And there will be no more of it.
I love that gambling is the worst out of the three.
And
'cause when you write,
Yeah, the third
like
thing.
the third thing is
well, it's
always
also
the big,
italicized.
or when you're acting,
a list, the last item on the list.
The last item of the list is always the biggest thing on the
Yeah.
list, and so. Yeah, I love that gambling is the last and most important thing on that list.
So we returned to Camelin to find you gone, and then to Kyrian once more to find you gone yet again. And you put yourself in danger again in Kyrian. Have you no sense at all? The Aiel said you were very brave at Demise Wells.
I feel like this scene more than anything showcases Robert Jordan's Southern roots.
Yeah.
There's something about this scene that feels very like Southern to me. Like if I didn't know he was Southern, that's what I would guess. I go, he's either Southern or Midwestern.
It's like Tennessee Williams, but not angry.
Yes, there's a Southern Gothicness about this scene
In Kyrian, your mother decided...
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Please continue.
that I just am enjoying.
In Kyrian, your mother decided she couldn't stay away from the Great Stump any longer, though why, I cannot say, since they aren't likely to reach any sort of decision for another year or
So
two.
how great is this stump?
So we set out to return to Stedding Shanghai in the hope we could find you later.
So what are they arguing over at the Great Stump?
Whether
I
or
think I'm
not
actually
they
ahead
should
of
close
myself.
the book.
Open the book of translation.
Open the book of translation.
We'll get to that
I have
in
a theory
second.
as to what that means.
Yes.
The elves are going away to
Yes.
wherever.
Yes. Turns out the Ogier are fucking interdimensional aliens, I guess?
Yeah.
And they're gonna leave the world, maybe, and come back later when all this Tarmangaiden business
Which
is done?
is shitty. It's
Well,
giving,
that's what-
it's
that's
giving
what-
why are the billionaires trying to leave the planet so bad?
That's what she wants to do. That's not necessarily what everybody. Hold on. We'll get there in a minute. We'll get there in a second. Elder Heyman is not sure how he feels about this marriage. Well, no, he does actually. He's like, it's fine. He just thinks Aerith's a little young, even though she's 80. And he goes,
I know you want to marry Loial, but are you sure you are ready? Taking a husband is a grave responsibility.
This is true.
Loial wished someone would ask him that question, but that was not the way. His mother and Aerith
That is also bullshit.
had reached their agreement, and only Aerith could stop it now if she wanted to. Did he want her to? He could not stop thinking of his book. He could not stop thinking of Aerith.
Oh, babe, am I as important as a book?
Yeah.
My weaving sells well, and I am ready to buy another loom and take an apprentice, but that may not be what you mean. I am ready to tend a husband.
Suddenly she grinned, a lovely
Why
grin
isn't he tending her?
that divided her face in two.
Especially one with such beautiful long eyebrows.
Aerith, his mom's right there.
This is serious, Aerith. Come now, if you are sure, take his hand.
And they do.
I'd honestly jump into marriage with Aerith.
I know,
because
she's the fucking best.
I guess the woman in your life is responsible for you. Like, I guess
Yes.
that's what's being said, right?
Yes.
With the tending and
Yes.
stuff. So Loial's mom, all due respect, seems like a ball buster. You know,
Yeah.
she's no fun at all.
She's a fucking... Well, because, I mean, even Cadsuane was like, oh, shit, your mom is here? I know her. You better fucking get up there now.
Yeah. What's her name? Coveril?
Yeah, let me see. Coveril, daughter of Ella, daughter of Sung.
Which Coveril feels like cove, you know? So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
nature, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Was that a thing?
I don't know.
don't
Yes,
know.
maybe. Could be.
Because Aerith sounds like earth.
Yeah. Loial sounds like friend.
Yeah, it does sound like friend. Anyway, so
How the fuck... How are we only 49 minutes into this?
I don't know. It feels
This has
as long
gone
as
really,
our normal
really
episodes.
fast,
We're
but also like...
clipping.
But also, I don't know.
We're
I
clipping.
feel like we're not rushing.
I know.
This is
but we're
weird.
like clipping.
This is the opposite problem we usually have.
Maybe it's my health stuff.
I don't know.
Maybe I've become less loquacious
I
in
hope
my
not.
health
That would be
stuff.
terrible. We'll get it figured out.
We're
Anyway,
getting it figured out. So, blah, 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 blah.
Aerith.
So, Coveril seems like a ball buster. All due respect
Sure,
to ball
yeah.
busters, because I love ball
Oh, yeah,
busters.
they're
but
great.
like, I wouldn't necessarily want to be the kid of a ball buster.
Not necessarily.
Because haven't you ever had a friend whose parents, okay. You, Gus, whose parents are not ball busters, have you had a friend in your life whose parents are kind of ball busters where you're like, oh, damn.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like at their house when things are going down.
Sure, yeah.
Like, and you're like, I'll just dust
Don't mind me.
dust the PlayStation. Like, whatever it is.
Oh, shit, I actually need to dust the PlayStation.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
you're welcome.
Yeah. You gotta open... I gotta get more compressed air. I gotta blow out all my electronics. Terrible way to word that. I regret everything I've ever said.
That's out on the internet
Fuck.
forever now. Okay, but yeah, so I would marry Aerith really fast because she seems like she's super team loyal and
Yeah.
might let him like wander.
Yeah, probably.
And she would probably wander with him, I think.
Aerith, daughter of Eva, daughter of Alar.
Elder Haman said, holding one hand palm down over each of their heads.
Will you take Loial, son of Arent, son of Halan, as husband and vow under the light and...
Can I have a question?
Yes?
If this is a matriarchal society where the women are in charge, why is it the man's name that gets in the list?
It's not.
But I thought it was a matriarchy because the man...
Aerith, daughter of Iva, daughter of Alar.
Oh, so
Loial,
it's
son
kinda
of
like-
Arent, son of Halan.
Oh, so it's kind of like Slavic,
Yes.
right? Where they do like...
Kind of. Well.
Wait,
yes.
no, never mind.
You're thinking of Norse. No, it's not like Norse because even that is like
something where it's like...
Thorsdottir. Yeah, you're thinking of Russian, but Russian even then is mostly like.
Why
Elena,
did the women let the men
Elena
do this?
Sergeyevich,
Why did we
right?
birth the
If
babies
we're thinking-
and decide the man gets to have the name?
If we're thinking Three Sisters, for example,
We're stupid. No, I'm just kidding.
Olga, Irina, and Masha are all Sergeyevich, which means daughter of Sergey.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
of, but then I realized that I was equating the wrong thing.
Yeah, but I get you. Sergeyevna. Sorry, Sergeyevna, I think, is daughter of Sergey. Sergeyevich is son of Sergey. Because it's Andrei.
Yeah, you're
Andrei
right.
Sergeyevich, Irina Sergeyevna.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I think.
Yeah.
I know this because I did a...
Someone will tell us.
Yeah. Okay. I
I know we've got at
did a
least
production.
one Russian listener.
I did a Russian speaking. Yeah, I did a production of Three Sisters a few years ago. It was very fun. I played the fucking teacher whose name I'm forgetting right now.
Well, their names are all very, like, respectfully similar.
Well, and also like Chekhov names somebody Masha in every fucking play. He names somebody Nina.
Well, that's what I mean that's what I mean by their names are all
that's
very
what you're
similar.
saying,
It's like, well, then there's Trigorin, Treplev. There's lots of T's.
It starts with K, I think. Kulyagin.
You play Kulyagin.
Yeah, that was fun. Fucking love Three Sisters. Fucking love Chekhov. Kind of a hot take sometimes, depending on who you're talking to. If you are not super fucking into plays and theater and you just want to pick up and read Chekhov, you might find it dull as fuck. I understand. It's actually hilarious, but you have to do it the right way.
You do have to do it the right way.
Yeah.
I have learned to like Chekhov. It took a second, I will say. It did take a second because I think I was taught it wrong.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, I was definitely taught it wrong.
Chekhov done poorly is agonizing.
Yes, and that's why
Chekhov,
I think I at first was like, oh, sob fest.
Chekhov done okay is agonizing.
It's really hard to do well.
It's really... I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm not.
No, he was really brilliant in it. He really was.
Chekhov,
he was really brilliant in it.
Well, the trouble with Chekhov, and I promise we'll go back to the time in a second.
We won't.
Trouble with Chekhov is that it's kind of a trap. Because if you do it the way like Stanislavski would have done it, who was like the guy who kind of popularized it, it is boring and long and sad and just painful. Almost by design. If you do it what I understand to be the way Chekhov had intended it to be, it is a fucking laugh riot.
It is. It's really funny because it's like the characters feeling really sorry for themselves, but they're kind of the agents of their own destruction.
Yeah. Well, they're all like a bunch of upper crust Russian semi-aristocracy at the turn of the 20th century, kind of moping. And most of them don't have real problems. Like, their problems are we might lose the giant estate, which, yeah, I get it. That's a problem. But when you compare it to what a lot of other people were going through at the time, less of a problem. And when Chekhov's perspective on that is kind of like, oh, no, a little bit. I'm simplifying for the sake of
it's
discussion.
Really hysterical.
But, like,
parts of it are really upsetting, and parts of it are hysterical.
Chekhov is hilarious, and then you also sob. But, like, Three Sisters opens with, there's these two of the three sisters, I think, it might be all three of them, I don't remember, are on stage, and the eldest one has a page-long monologue about remembering the anniversary of their father's death, and, like, the clock chimes, and she goes, oh, the clock chimed the same way that day, too, which, like, of course it did, Olga, it's a fucking clock, it chimes the same way every fucking day, that's the point of clocks. So she goes on this long, winding, verbose monologue about this for, like, a half page. And then
it's a long monologue.
It's a good monologue, and it opens the play. And then her middle sister, Masha, who has been sitting there reading a book for the entire time, goes, I don't want to talk about it. The funniest fucking... And then she continues talking. It's hilarious, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Three Sisters, hilarious. Seagull, counterintuitively, hilarious. Cherry Orchard, hilarious. Uncle Vanya, less funny. Mm-hmm. Uncle Vanya, probably the least funny one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that. No, I'm not. Back to it.
Erith, daughter of Iva, daughter of Alar, will you take Loial, son of Arent, son of Halan, as husband, and vow under the light and by the tree to treasure, esteem, and love him so long as he lives, to care for him and tend him, and to guide his feet on the path they should follow?
Under the light and by the tree, I so vow.
I hoped you would do that.
I hoped you would let me do that.
Loial, son of Arent, son of Halan, will you accept Erith, daughter of Iva, daughter of Alar, as wife, and vow under the light and by the tree to treasure, esteem, and love her so long as she lives, to care for her, and to heed her guidance?
Loial took a deep breath. His ears trembled.
Oh.
He wanted to marry her. He did. Just not yet.
Under the light and by the tree, I so vow, he said hoarsely. Then under the light and by the tree, I declare you wed.
The stump?
May the blessings of the light and the tree be upon you always.
Loial looked down at his wife. His wife?
This is quite a stumper.
She raised a hand and stroked slender fingers along his mustaches. The beginnings of mustaches.
These slender fingers are probably still the size of, like,
sausages.
This water bottle.
I love this. She goes,
you are very handsome, and I think mustaches will be beautiful on you.
Oh.
A beard, too.
Oh.
And on that note, we're going to take a quick ad break. Welcome back.
So much like...
Yes,
That's like my mother-in-law. Aerith's mother-in-law is like, no beards, no mustaches.
And Aerith is like, oh, you fucking tell me. Okay, too bad. Loial thinks about how excited he's gonna be, and they nuzzle noses, and he tries not to finger her ear, and I'm not gonna dwell on that.
Your mother's right there. Your mother's right there. Have you ever seen, like, I've seen a few like wedding kisses where I'm like, yeah, your family though. It's it's like your grandmother's like in the front row, and they're like grabbing ass, and you're like, okay,
yeah,
all right. Like, it's got to be a classy one. You know, when you're already married, it's got to be a classy kiss, right? We had a classy kiss.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a classy kiss. It's a good one.
So they're like nuzzling and stuff, and then he realizes they're trying to talk about leaving right away, and
there was no fingering of ears.
No fingering of ears. No. and Kovril is like, I want an early start come morning. I refuse to waste an hour more than I must. The Book of Translation must be opened as soon as possible. Loial, jerk direct. Don't do that.
Whoa, not in front of your family.
That's what the Great Stump is discussing. They can't do that. Not now. We must leave this world eventually, so we can come to it when the wheel turns. That is written. Now is exactly the right time, and the sooner the better.
This feels like a big thing to talk about. So let's stop down for a second and talk about
the
this.
Entmoot?
The Entmoot and the Book of Translation. What does it sound like this is?
They're going to teleport.
They're going to teleport out
into a different dimension.
So what does that suggest broadly about
that they're aliens?
They're aliens.
That they're elf aliens.
This also kind of explains
they're
why
elf orc aliens.
Ent aliens, yeah.
Elf orc Ent ogre aliens.
Yeah. This also I feel like explains really well why in the steading you can't touch the source. Because it's like it seems like the steading are chunks of a different dimension that teleported in.
And that's why the Trollocs won't go in there.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what? We're just supposed to believe that the Trollocs would leave the Ogier alone?
Well, and the Dark One probably can't touch inside steadings.
That's why they don't like going in there.
Seems like it, yeah.
Because it's from a different dimension.
Yeah. Right? Isn't this cool? It's kind of bananas to just show up with this in Book 11, but I'm here for it. You like this? I love this.
I love it. Well, because it feels very like the elves are going to wherever.
Yeah, the Grey Havens.
Like they were.
No, the Grey Havens is the harbor.
The Grey. I thought it was the Grey Havens.
That's the harbor,
thing where they take the ships and they go.
Valinor.
Valinor.
Yeah.
It's Valinor. They're going to Valinor.
I'm 90% sure it's Valinor.
I'm like 100%.
I haven't read the Silmarillion in a minute.
It's Valinor. I love that you have not read all of the Lord of the Rings, but
I have read the Silmarillion. Yeah.
That feels wrong.
Yeah, it's Valinor, which includes Eldamar, the land of the elves, who as immortals are permitted to live in Valinor.
I remember because Galadriel was supposed to go to Valinor, and then she jumped off the boat in
Rings of Power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does Loial feel about opening the Book of Translation?
He's like, we can't do that.
Yeah, he's like, awful
fucking
idea.
We have to stay and help.
Awful
which I agree
idea.
with Loial. They're part of this world, aren't you?
And
right?
Elder Haim,
Isn't that Pippin? Or Mary? But you're part of this world.
You're part of this world.
Aren't you?
Aren't you? Yeah. We gotta rewatch those.
I know.
It's been too long. All right.
What if...
After my show, maybe. Yeah? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Your parents will be in town.
They will love it.
That would be really fun.
They love the Lord of the Rings.
We do like a weekend. We make a weekend of it.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
That'd be so fun.
So, how does Haman feel about opening the Book of Translation?
He's pro.
No, he's not.
He's con.
Horrible
Altered.
idea.
What against?
Before we left, I gave a speech of 3 hours that I think swayed a few minds in the right direction.
Oh my god, 3 hours.
Your mother has swayed more, I fear.
Holy,
And Loial goes, I wish I could address the stump.
What's it called? Holy,
We
you get up,
have just now finished saying... Good morning.
My brain fog is really bad lately, and so I'm forgetting words. What is the thing where they go up in front of the peoples in the government and they...
The Senate?
And no, I know what the Senate is. I'm not that far gone.
Hearings?
No, where they go up and they talk for as long as they can.
Oh, a filibuster.
Thank you. Yeah. Holy shit. This holy filibuster, you're good. Batman.
Aerith goes,
You sound eager, husband. What will you say to the stump?
And Kovriel is like, Loial's a little bitch boy. He can't talk in front of the stump. He's gonna totally beef it.
He's a married man.
He's gonna beef it.
He can do what he wants because he's a married man now. You see what good being married is, Loial?
I am exaggerating what Kovriel says. She goes,
I won't have him embarrassed, Aerith. Loial writes well, and Elder Heyman says he may have the makings of a scholar about him, but he gets tongue-tied before even 100. Besides, he is only a boy.
and Aerith is like, he's married, so shut the fuck up and step off. This is my husband. Let me take care of him.
I'm Team Aerith.
I love Aerith. And she goes,
Well, husband, what would you say?
and what does he give? What's the rundown here? Give me the rundown. He thinks about public speaking, which gives him the tummy trembles. Understandable. He's very nervous about addressing the Great Stump. But what's his argument?
His argument is, we're part of this world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Aren't we?
Yeah. And his mom
And
counters...
he's like, we can go after.
His mom counters, we didn't get involved in the War of the 100 Years. And he was like...
Go
ahead.
I got this.
Yeah.
I got this. I was paying attention because I was very invested in this.
Yeah.
These chapters really
These
suck.
chapters are fucking
These
bangers.
chapters really, really crushed. So
Yeah.
I'm really remembering a lot from it, even though my brain fog's really bad, which
yeah.
is like really extraordinary.
Really saying something.
Really saying something because my brain fog has been really bad.
Really bad.
But so he says that was a human v human problem.
Yes. This is not.
This is a human v shadow problem,
Yeah.
which means it's an everybody v shadow problem.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what he says.
Which I thought was a really good argument.
Yeah, it's a great argument.
When fire threatens the trees, we do not run away and hope that the flames will not follow us. We fight. Now the shadow is coming like wildfire, and we dare not run from it.
She's like, yeah, okay, 4 out of 10, not bad. Pretty good. You know
4
what?
out of 10.
But I think she's mostly just kind of ripping on him a little bit. And then he's looking out the window as he's working on this. And all the while he's like, what is that in the trees? What is going on over there? It looks like cows or something. And then he goes,
Trollocs.
Aerith pushed in beside him at the window, tens of thousands of Trollocs, and gasped.
So many. Are we going to die, Loial?
She didn't sound afraid. She sounded excited.
Yeah, because it's like the most exciting thing that's ever happened to her.
Not if I can warn Rand and the others.
He was already starting for the door. Only Aes Sedai and Ashaman could save them now.
Here, my boy. I think we may need these.
He turned just in time to catch the long-handled axe that Elder Heyman tossed him. The other man's ears were back all the way, laid flat against his skull. Loial realized his own were, too.
Here, Aerith,
his mother said calmly, lifting down one of the pruning knives.
If they get inside, we will try to hold them at the stairs.
Fuck yeah.
You are my hero, husband, Aerith said as she took the knife shaft in hand. But if you get yourself killed, I will be very angry with you.
She sounded as if she meant it. And then he and Elder Heyman were running down the corridor together, pounding down the stairs, bellowing at the top of their lungs a warning, and a battle cry that had not been heard in over 2,000 years.
Trollocs coming! Up axes and clear the field! Trollocs coming!
And we switched to Rand, and he's like, goddamn logistics and bullshit and shit, and God, I'm so tired, Logain, you do this, you do that. And he's like, oh my god, I feel like it smells like shit. It doesn't smell like shit, but I feel like it smells like shit.
Yeah, that's good timing because Petey just ripped a ginormous fart in the studio.
It's absolutely appropriate. And Cadsuane goes, Shadows spawn, and give me a rundown on this battle, Allie.
So, okay, at first, it feels like they're going to get overwhelmed. Like, there's so many.
There's like 100,000 Trollocs attacking one manor house.
I thought it was really funny because, like, basically all the magic people come out. And the Saldeans start cutting their way into the roof, right? They cut into the roof of their, like...
The Saldeans?
Places, yeah.
I think so, yeah. To
shoot down Trollocs.
Mm-hmm.
And, but, like, at first, it's so funny because they poke their heads out. They see the Trollocs. They see all the magic people coming to fight them. And then they go back inside. Yeah. And I was like, mood. But then I realized that they were like, oh, I'd be dead on the streets.
Yeah.
I got to go up to the roof.
Yeah, not much I can do.
And get a height advantage. Yeah. Right? And I was like, oh. Because before I was like, oh, kind of mood. If I saw that happening, I'd be like, I'm going back in and kissing my ass goodbye.
Not much I can do. Yeah.
As my uncle would say, because my mom sometimes gets really nervous, and she was like, what if like such and such happens? And he goes, oh, in that kind of emergency, you put your head between your knees and kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, Rand is like, oh, I can help out. I gotta grab the power, but I also know I'm gonna start projectile vomiting exorcist style when I do. So let me like brace myself against the window. I'm gonna get ready here because he's not been channeling. On purpose, he's been going out of his way not to channel, right? Because he knows, like, he goes full exorcist when he does.
We don't want that.
And what happens when he goes to channel?
Lews Therin takes over.
Lews Therin is like, oh, I'll take that.
Which I was like, no.
Not good. Not good. Not good. Suicidal madman. Not good.
No, we don't want that.
Petey is
Wagging
his tail in the background. And then he blows up the window, and Lews Therin goes, "My hands! Why can't I move my hands? I need to raise my hands!" Earth, air, and fire went into a weave Rand did not know 6 of them at once, except that as soon as he saw the spinning, he did know. Blossom of fire. 6 vertical red shafts appeared among the Trollocs, 10 feet tall, and thinner than Rand's forearm. Lews Therin spun the last thread of air, and fire blossomed with a roar that shook the manor house. Each red shaft expanded in a heartbeat to a disk of flame 30 feet across. Horned heads and snouted heads flew into the air, and pinwheeling arms, booted legs, and legs that ended in paws or hooves. Trollocs 100 paces and more away from the explosions went down, and only some got up again. And so he starts blowing these things up. Lews Therin spun 6 others, spirit touched with fire, the weave for a gateway, but then he added touches of earth, so and so. The familiar silvery blue vertical streaks appeared, spaced out not far from the manor house. Ground Rand knew well, rotating into not openings, but the misty back of a gateway, 4 paces by 4. Rather than remaining open, they rotated shut again, opening and shutting continuously, and rather than remaining fixed, they sped toward the Trollocs. Gateways, and yet not. Deathgates.
Cool.
Right? So he's making fucking, Boba Fett style sonic boom seismic charges of fire. And then he's also just making doors, like spinning gateways that keep opening and shutting and just flying forward and eating Trollocs.
So
Isn't this the coolest thing you've ever seen?
Horrible if you're a Trolloc.
Oh, horrible.
But otherwise, horrible.
But also, what a great use of... Because I feel like Robert Jordan came up with gateways, and then he went, oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I can't have Trolloc armies teleporting, so he made it so Trollocs can't go through the gateways. Then he went, well, the logical extension of that is push Trollocs through gateways, right?
Yes.
So now he's making it so that you can push the gateways through the Trollocs.
I love it.
Trollocs
This is so cool. This is using your brain skull.
So Rand brings his hand up, and Lews Therin starts just shooting little arrows of fire out from his fingertips, just like hundreds of them, just like sniping Trollocs.
Cool.
And Logain is next to Rand, like, huh. And he starts copying, and then the Ashaman start copying. So now everybody knows how to do this. So there's that.
Now everybody's just pushing Trollocs through waygates.
Yeah, and making
Gateways.
the blossoms of fire.
Jesus.
Deathgates.
Deathgates. Deathgates. That's such a cool name. It's so metal. Okay, that's my metal band name. Deathgate.
That's good.
Yeah. Right?
And they're making the little fireball, and they just fucking waste this army.
Lately, this is a stupid random tangent.
Yes.
But as opposed to what we always do.
Yes.
But when I make a slip knot during crochet, I think to myself like,
that's really funny.
Because, Slipknot the band.
Yeah.
There's a metal band called Slipknot, and every time it's like, make a slip knot, I'm like, as I'm like making the slip knot to make my stuffed animal cow.
That's
or whatever
hilarious.
it is I'm making for my friends' babies.
So the roof catches fire, and Rand is like, oh shit, Lucy, you gotta put that out. The Saldeans are in there. And Lews Therin is like, kill first. Killing first.
No. And so then Rand yells at...
He's like, Logain, help me out here.
Logain, put out the fires. And then Logain snuffs
does.
the fire out.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So, this battle is awesome, but I feel like the more important thing to talk about here is that Lews Therin just goes full auto, and does not stop.
You'd think that somebody who killed a bunch of people in the wake of madness would be less excited to kill people.
Monsters. The Trollocs.
I'm just saying, would be less excited to be a murderous creepo. He's a murderous creepo.
He is a bit of a murderous. Well, he's mostly a self-destructive creepo, but and then this Myrddraal gets right up to the window somehow, and luckily the maidens are there and they stab it back just enough time for Rand to then arrow of fire it in 500 places and turn it into a pincushion and make it disappear.
But the maidens had it.
The maidens, no, they didn't. I mean, they fought it off of him.
Oh, okay.
They did save him. I want to comment specifically on that. They did save him.
I am the maiden #1 fan. Make me a foam finger.
Yeah.
Maidens. Every time the maidens do anything, I'm like, those are my girls.
And then they managed to kill all of the all of them. And then Rand is like, okay, Lews, good shit. We can stop now. And Lews is like, what if
Not enough power.
What if I did another dragon mount, though? That might be fun. I think that could be good.
Sucking up all the power.
Wild card, bitches. Come on, let's do it. And Logain is like, what are you doing? You can stop now. Also, why didn't you teach me that shit? You should have taught me that shit. Are you timing it yourself? Do you have your own, like, buddy boo group that you like? Come on.
No, Rand doesn't like anyone but the women he's dicking down.
And Rand is like, I am kind of focusing on, don't worry about it. It's fine. Let's all not worry about it. And he's still trying to get Lews Therin to let go of the power. And Lews Therin is like, okay, but hold on. I think the first thing I did was I went on top of a mountain, but I don't have a mountain here. So maybe I'll just blow everything up here. And Ch18 is like, what's going on? And Min is like, what's going on? And Logain is like, what's going on? What's going on, Al?
Lews Therin is taking over Rand.
Yes.
And wanting to kill himself and everyone in a vicinity.
What does he feel? Don't toy with me, girl. You know the cost of that. I know he bonded you, and you know I know. Is he afraid?
He's never afraid, except for me, or...
Okay, come on. Men are afraid sometimes.
Yes, we are. There's nothing wrong with being afraid of stuff.
Oh, you get afraid sometimes?
Of course I get afraid sometimes.
Oh.
Who doesn't? We all do.
Allie's here.
Aw. And Rand goes, I'm standing under your nose. If you want to know how I feel, ask me. Lews Therin? I feel right as well, Water. Lews Therin! But I have a rule for you, Ch18. Don't threaten Min again. In fact, leave her alone. Altogether. And she goes, well, the boy shows some teeth. Just don't show so many. And you might ask the young woman whether she wants your protection.
That's valid.
And Min is looking at him like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Which, okay, he was jumping to her defense, but also let her defend herself.
And then Lews
It's
Therin.
both things are true.
Lews Therin is like,
You
all
can
right,
never win.
we'll just blow up at Tarmangaiden instead. And Logain is like, all right, we're not all gonna die. We're all fine. Everything's good. He's released, Logain said.
Lews Therin every time. It's like, boom now?
Yeah.
Boom now? And like Rand's like, not boom now. And he's like, aw, boom now.
Notably, Ch18 knows he's let go. So one of her.
She's got a talent.
No. Remember, she has all the Terangrial.
Oh, so one of them is.
One of them is like
Oh, that's a useful one.
Rand goes, Min can deal with you in your own way if she wishes, Rand said, starting from the door. But don't threaten her. Yes, he thought. We can die at Tarmangaiden. And that's the end of chapter 19. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Those chapters were awesome.
Absolute bangers. Is it going to go up from here or down from here?
It better go up from here. It's going to go up from here.
We have social
Manifests.
media if you want to know what we've got going on. It's linked below. We also have a Patreon if you want to support us that way. It's patreon.com/wheeltakes. And of course, you can always leave us a rating and a review, which helps a lot. Other than that, anything else, Sally?
No.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Wait, did I just say, no, wait, anything else?
Yeah, I was confused. Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Anything else, Sally?
Nose Nuzzles.
Nose Nuzzles and Deathgates.
Nose Nuzzles and Deathgates. That's
Drop
the
the title in the last 10
That's the
seconds. Thanks for
title.
listening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.